Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not yapping, and we're going to talk about the citrine gems becoming available soon. Kaivax, the raccoon of good news, is bringing us more good news. He says today we're working on an update to the game with a hotfix that will make all of the singing citrines available on Siren Isle, allowing players to acquire all of them in the current week. To skip to it, it says the gems that belong to enemy factions, so the ones that aren't available right now, should now be purchasable from Taljori, the Tortolan vendor sitting on the large rock behind Bargus. Happy holidays indeed. So what is the reasoning behind this? Basically, the different enemies that arrive to the island on different weeks are the ones that would have given you the different gems that are missing, but it just made the wait a bit too long, and it also made it felt kind of stupid, to be honest with you. It was a very bad decision because, like, I don't want to come back 3 weeks to that place. Give me my gem and let me go. I'll come back when I need to upgrade it next week. So he says, the system was originally designed to have different citrines be associated with different enemy cultures as they invaded Siren Isle on a rotating basis, but having to wait for a specific invasion type in order to obtain your citrine of choice has felt like it's creating more frustration than anticipation. Well read, well noticed. Good on you for noticing, guys. The gems belonging to the goblins, Arathi, and Earthen should come from doing events on the Isle that are started at the Siren Isle command map. After getting them once, you'll be able to buy them from the store. Buy them and store them in your warbank for your alts as usual. I don't understand. This is like a minor gripe. It really doesn't matter, but why can't you just go buy them on your alt? I guess you wouldn't have the resources necessary. It's 50 of the Siren blessed iron ore or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it works fine either way. You don't have to actually go out to the island on your different characters. You only have to go on one character, and then that character can just do all the shopping for all your other characters. So I guess it works out. Anyway, this is something people really, really wanted, and we can just check down here. First comment. Very good change. Thank you for listening on this. It's extremely rare to see a comment this positive. This is, from my limited experience, it's been a bit rare to see people doing, thanking Blizzard for listening to changes that are wanted by the player base. And then we have Athernon. He says, the fact that we also have to wait 6 weeks to fully upgrade the ring has created as much frustration as I had anticipated. Yeah, haha, very funny. I don't, like, I get it. It's time gated, but it's just better than anything you have. At the start, it's already better than what most people have. Most people don't have 639 rings unless they've gotten lucky in the vault. So I don't know. But then again, with the first iteration of the ring, somebody had done the math, and basically in the simulation it said the ring with the first gems that we have available at the moment as I record this was the equivalent of a 575 ring at item level 639. That's how bad those rings were, but that's for Sims trying to do damage. Danny, my fiance, has been doing some healing with the ring, and the healing thing ends up about doing 50 million healing per dungeon run with just as much over healing. And honestly, that feels like a significant amount. On a grand total of about, I don't know, whatever amount of healing, it's about, I don't know, 15% of the total healing done in a dungeon, which is a significant amount. It adds up bit by bit. Nice. Wish I had more to say. Why? Just say nice. Or say thank you. Well, good change is a good change. See, this person is already agreeing with what I said. Sure, but unless you already had a 639 bis ring, there's a good chance this will be an upgrade even right now, with the right gems in it. Exactly what I was asking for. Santa came early. Poor Santa. It's okay, Santa. We understand. It happens to everybody. It's all about guaranteed to be even better. Even if you have a 639 ring. Okay, so people are doing this guy is set in his ways. The level 55 Worgen Death Knight does not care. He thinks it's worse than his 626 ring because he's not getting that people are talking about the things with the changes, meaning with the unlocked other gems. Good job fixing this so quick. Yes, so just a bit of a conversation about this. And we have someone saying no more borrowed power, but I don't think it is kind of borrowed power, but is it that big of an impact? Do you really have to grind out for it that big? You can get that done in like 10 minutes a week, and you can just keep that ring, and it should have you, it should be good. I think what they said was the trajectory for it was into like heroic tier is where you should be replacing it in next season. This is just another borrowed power grind similar to Torghast. How is this similar to Torghast? My brother in Christ, you need to just stop complaining. I'm like fairly certain there's a lot of people, in my opinion, who just do not play the game but love to talk shit on the forums. They just go to forums to talk shit. Anyway, I'm super excited about this. Let's take a look really quick at what the actual gems are for this thing. All right, so there are 6 more apparently, for which we don't know the sources. I am unsure whether or not we get all 6 of these now with this hotfix. That much has not been stated from what I can see. So one of the 6 gems that we don't have yet is the Stormbringer's Ruined Citrine, which is a I guess yellow slot. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure here. I assume this means yellow slot by this being yellow. So it actually grants some amount, a pretty minor amount of every secondary stat. If all secondary stats are equal value to you, this actually grants you 1,600 total of stats, which it's over 1,600, which again doesn't seem all that amazing. I don't think this one's going to be particularly good, but maybe at a higher item level, it starts to actually scale up and give you more. I can't seem to simulate it at a higher item level. I can't seem to increase it. But if we extrapolate the math, I don't know how much it would go up by. So I just don't know whether or not this will be actually good at the current item levels of the Circe's Circlet. So let's take a look at the next one. We have Storm Sewer's Citrine. So those who sue storms. Your spells and abilities have a chance to shield an ally with lightning, absorbing the next blah damage taken for 10 seconds. While the shield persists, attackers take 10% of the amount absorbed as nature damage. So you do like 31k nature damage and absorb 300k nature damage. I don't know if this is particularly amazing. If it procs very often, it might be sort of nice, but it doesn't seem overly amazing to me. Maybe if there's absolutely nothing better. But let's move on to the next one. Fathom Dweller's Ruined Citrine, which is a blue slot one. It grants you 1.5k mastery. That's actually kind of decent. That's at 619 item level, mind you. So at the current item level of the Circe's Circlet, it will be a significant amount more. In addition, all other singing citrine effects are increased based on your total mastery. So the zap ones, the ones that do just pure damage, will actually do more damage depending on your mastery. There is an existing bug, I believe, with this, where if you use this, if you use mastery to increase your total, like mastery trinkets to increase your maximum mastery, it'll actually snapshot to that and then just be super strong until you die. But I do believe this is being hotfixed or has already been hotfixed. I'm not 100% sure what the situation with that is, but this seems like one of the better options, especially if your class stacks mastery, which quite a few classes do. Undersea Overseer's Citrine. This is another blue slot citrine. On equip, your spells and abilities have a chance to drench an enemy in freezing seawater that bounces to 2 nearby enemies, dealing blah amount of damage to each of them. So this is a 3-target sort of AoE, 140k at 619 item level. With the current item level, that should be significantly higher. Let me just zoom in on this really quick, just so you guys can probably see this a little better. I don't know how well this is recording, but with me reading it, I guess you don't need to read it yourself. It seems like a good amount of damage. It seems to also scale differently depending on what exactly you are. I'm looking at, this is different for different, why is this here? I don't understand. Is this supposed to like significantly change how much damage is being dealt? I can't tell right now. Anyway, I'm going to ignore these options. This is probably just not something I can figure out on my own right now. But if you guys know what these options are for, please do let me know. I guess it changes the tooltip and shows you the details about how the scaling works. I think it's reduced for healers and tanks, but does the full value for DPS, which makes sense. They kind of been going down that path for multiple things such as trinkets and whatnot. Let's see the next one. The next one is Old Salt's Bardic Citrine. So your spells and abilities have a chance to whisper a sea shanty to 5 nearby allies, healing them 476,000 health over 5 seconds. So you're basically running around and whispering sea shanties into people's ears, which is kind of creepy, but also very much my style. Seems like a good healing one. I don't know. I imagine healers would be pretty okay with that, considering the current one that we have for healing is also doing relatively well. I think it's doing a significant amount of healing overall. How impactful that healing is up for debate, because it is a small amount of healing for very big health bars. But if you have pulsing damage, I feel like every little bit helps, and it can crit if I'm not mistaken. So when it crits, it can help even more, obviously. So it can be impactful. It can actually save somebody's butt every now and again. Now we have Squall Sailor's Citrine, which your spells and abilities have a chance to slice 5 enemies with a rushing sea breeze, dealing 117,000 nature damage to each of them. So this is the 5 target cleave sort of citrine. I think is great for M+. I think you'd be running this along with the mastery one if you stack mastery, and I think it's pretty good. Again, it seems to be reduced by a third for whatchamacallits, for tanks and healers. So that's something to take into account, but it might still be worth it for them to equip. So those are the 6 ones that we know exist, other than the 4 that we've already gotten. Hopefully we get all 6 of them to play with and figure out what our best configuration is. I'm excited to give these actually a shot now, because before, with just these 4 that we had unlocked, I wasn't overly enthusiastic about it, but with having access to all of them, we can make the most powerful version of the ring for the given item level that we have access to, and that could actually make this ring pretty dang good. I know that for alts, it's going to be amazing. For people that are pretty decked out and people that have 639 rings, this might not be as good. We'll see what the sims say. But for alts, it is a godsend. It also helps your survivability because it has an ungodly amount of stamina. But that is all the yapping I have available for this thing. I'm super happy that they made this change. I think it was definitely necessary. I again want to thank Kaivox for bringing us the good news. The good news raccoon brings it once again. Gotta love it. But that's pretty much it for this yapping session. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like. Let me know what you liked about it. Comment down below. Let me know if you're happy about the changes they are doing to the gearing and citrine acquisition. And if you had fun, make sure you subscribe, because there's more yapping and other content coming. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.